Welcome back. Let's talk about completing the square. So, to give you an illustration of what completing the square looks like, imagine we had a shape, a rectangle or a square, where we knew this side, we knew this side, and we knew this distance and this distance. If we wanted to find the area of this quadrilateral, we would assume that the whole thing is completed as a quadrilateral, find the area of the whole thing, and then subtract off this missing piece, and that would give us the area. That's how we find the area of compound polygons or compound shapes. Likewise, if we had one that had an extra bit on it, so if we had something like this, we would find this area and then add the extra stuff onto it. This is fundamentally what's happening whenever we complete the square in algebra. We are saying, what would a whole square look like? And then we are adding and subtracting from that. So let's see what that looks like with an example. The first one that we're going to look at is going to be x squared plus 6x plus c. We need to find out what value c has that would make this a perfect square. The way we are going to do that is we're going to first make sure that our a value is 1. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to take 1/2 of our b value and then square it. By doing that, that will give us the c value that we need, or the constant value that we need in order to make a perfect square. So let's see what that looks like here. We're going to take 1/2 of 6, which is 3, and then square the 3, which will make a 9. So 9 is the value of c that will make this a perfect square. So the final perfect square would be x squared plus 6x plus 9. And that could be factored into x plus 3 squared. That is the process that we're going to follow for all the rest of the examples today. So what does it look like if you are working with an equation rather than just an expression? Well, equations require a little bit more to them. So let's erase all of this out of here, and I'll show you what solving an equation looks like with completing the square. Let's take a look at x squared minus 12x plus 11 is equal to 0. Well, this is not a perfect square, cannot be factored immediately. But remember what I said about us adding and subtracting things to turn it into a square? That's what we're going to do here. First, I want to take this constant here, and I want to kick it over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 11 from both sides, and that will give us x squared minus 12x is equal to negative 11. From there, I need to do the completing the square thing, where I take 1/2 of my b value and square it. So I need 1/2 of negative 12, which is negative 6, and then I need to square that, which will give us 36. 36 is the value that I'm going to plug in here. So let's add 36. Now, I can't just manufacture a 36 out of nowhere. The 36 has to come from somewhere. So we are going to add 36 to the other side as well. Anything I do on the left side of the equation, I can also do on the right side of the equation. So now I have a perfect square that will leave us with the perfect square x squared minus 12x plus 36 is equal to 25. Now, if we were solving this out and trying to figure out what x is, we would then factor this into x minus 6 squared is equal to 25. Take the square root of both sides. So we would have x minus 6 is equal to plus or minus 5. And then continue solving on from there. Right now, we're just worried about what does it look like to complete the square. We can do solving out the quadratics in another video. What do we do if we are confronted with a situation where our a value is not 1? What do we do in that situation? If we have, for example, 2x squared minus 5x plus 67 equals 0. How would we complete the square with this example? Well, the first thing I want to do, I want to make sure that my a value is equal to 1. To do that, I need to divide everything by 2. This will be divided by 2 over here. This will get divided by 2, and this will get divided by 2. So we will be left with x squared minus 5 over 2x plus 67 over 2 is equal to 0. From here, let's kick the constant over to the other side so that we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to take this whole thing, kick it over here by subtracting 67 over 2. And we now have x squared minus 5 over 2x is equal to this negative 67 over 2. From here, we're going to follow the standard procedure for completing the square. I need 1/2 of my b value squared. So I need 1/2 of negative 5 over 2 and then square that. To find half of negative 5 over 2, we'll just multiply our denominator by 2. So we will have negative 5 over 4. And then we need to square it. A neat thing about exponent properties is the square will distribute onto the numerator and the denominator. So we'll have negative 5 squared over 4 squared, which will be 25 over 16. Make sure that we actually square it. So 25 over 16 is the constant that I need to plug in over here. So let's do that. Let's clean this up, erase a bit. 25 over 16 plus 25 over 16 is equal to, and we still have the negative 67 over 2 on this side. From there, just briefly, what does it look like to factor this? Well, to factor this, we would have half of this value as our constant, or the square root of this value as the constant. So we would still have the x, and it's going to be negative. The constant part is going to be negative because our b term is negative. And then either the square root of this or half of this. It is the same thing. So 5 over 4 squared. And that is what it looks like to complete. Oh, we actually missed a very, very important step. Excuse me. I can't manufacture this out of nowhere. What am I doing? I cannot just manufacture a fraction out of nowhere. I need to make sure that it is added to both sides. So do not make that mistake. Make sure that whenever you complete the square, whatever you add or whatever you subtract on the left side of the equation, you are adding and subtracting from the right side of the equation as well. Alright, so that is all I've got for you today. If you found this to be helpful, consider liking and subscribing. If you have a topic you would like for me to cover in the future, leave it down in the comments below. As always, have a fantastic day.